Hello there, you are listening to The Screen Queen, where you'll be finding your favorite movie or your favorite television show and learning something new. You'll just have to listen to find out. Here is your host, Samantha Parrish. Hello there and welcome back to another episode of Trailer Time. I just finished watching the trailer for Evil Dead Burn, and this has been a film that I've been very curious on how this third sequel of the revival for Evil Dead has been coming together. Like, they rode in hot with the remake that, no one was really expecting to be good, and then it's like, okay, all right, I'll bite what you can chew. And then Evil Dead Rise was absolute batshit, berserk, barbaric levels of bloody fun. And I was here for it. And then I was curious to know, well, how are you going to do this even more? Because every single time it was going to be doing the story to see how the effect could just transcend in terror, it really is a wild ride. That's why we're kind of here. That's kind of why I've slowly started to become a fan of the Evil Dead series. But the trailer, I have some thoughts on it. So here's my reaction. Okay, holy shit, here we go. I probably shouldn't be watching this in the dark, but here we are. Oh, knives, spoons. Oh, busted fingers. And a seat, that is choice. That's a mood. Okay, nice house, very Raimi, very Raimi, I like it.
The devil would return.
God, you better be good. Okay, another family angle. Ow. Okay, chainsaws, once again, you love. Okay, interesting choice. A dog. Again? Don't drink the candle.
Cheers.
Ew. Okay, fine. Choice. Went from a candle to a candle. Ow! Silverware! Okay, so I don't want to be mean to this movie, but the trailer did not scare me, which is a little bit weird considering the first trailer, when it came out in 2012, 2013, I couldn't even look at the screen. I was terrified of Mia coming up through the cellar, and it just kind of gave you that invitation that you really didn't want to have, but you took it anyway. And then to come back 10 years later with Evil Dead Rise, and I remember that I was so terrified that I couldn't move. The face of the mom from that movie was etched into my brain, which is something that horror film is supposed to do, is make you feel afraid when you blink because you're scared. That's the image that is going to come through. I didn't get much from this. I was fully expecting something that was 10 times more than the gore and the horror that we saw in the last two installments just as teasers. So it makes me wonder, are they saving their best for the movie? Because it didn't feel like an Evil Dead movie to me. Like, it had the tone, it had the possessed person, doing horrible things to the body to make, this person is no longer your loved one. But that's what we had in the first two installments. And one was greater than the other. In the first film, Mia was not believed because she was a drug addict. So seeing her go possessed is terrifying that you didn't believe her. And then you have the poor unfortunate soul of the mother Ellie in that film, as she went from being someone you trusted to being someone that you had no choice but to not trust. Here, despite not knowing any of the characters besides them being a very fractured family, it just didn't drive it for me. Like, I knew this was the plot. It didn't feel strong enough for me. I liked some of its angles. I love the bit with the silverware leading in with it, and then having the after effect of the trailer be showing the silverware. That was great. They had some very unique, disturbing images, but it just didn't compare to the last one where it was just absolutely uncomfortable on all levels. Family, of course, is very uncomfortable, but we just had one with a family in the last movie. And so having to go and have this new one, I hope it builds into something good, because the last film was so great. And I did see that there's a lot of really good talent in this film. For some strange reason, for whatever, a lot of people from Wednesday are in this. So I do love what dark humor and dark threats come through in the Evil Dead series. And every time a new director is at the helm, you just never know who's going to make it go from on a scale of 1 to 10 to make it like 1,000. I really hope that there is more to this in the trailer, but also too, there's sometimes multiple trailers, so maybe this is just a teaser for now, just to get used to it, and then eventually we'll get to see more. But it's kind of a soft angle, which is kind of a really weird way to have to phrase it, but it's interesting to see how the torch of the Deadite story has been carried from Ash to Mia to the that poor family in that doomed apartment building, and then going into another family angle. It feels like a mixture of the first 2 films is the vibe that I'm getting, but the mixture just doesn't feel very blended here. But this is just my stupid opinion, and I'm just a random person on the internet, and I'm someone who's been like respectful of the Evil Dead franchise, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Maybe I'm too hard on this film before it's come out. Maybe there's going to be more to see. Maybe there's a surprise, like I said, but we'll just have to see what happens when it comes out in July. But thank you for tuning into this episode of Trailer Time. Please let me know your thoughts about it. You can reach out to me on my Instagram at the Queen of the Screen. And please take care, stay amazing, and stay tuned for a new episode coming out very soon. Until then, this is your Screen Queen, signing off. Bye-bye!